everybody, welcome to another episode of Nerds as Friends. My name is Cody Leach. As always, I'm joined by Cristian Garcia. What up,
Hola,
Cristian?
hola.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. We took a little week off there. We were a little busy last week, so apologies for that. But we're back with some hot topics, just like the store from the 90s. Were they around in the 90s?
I
Probably.
don't know.
They had
Aren't
to
they
have been.
still around?
They're still around for sure.
I
And
guess
they've
they're
only
still
gotten
emo.
hotter.
Yeah, oh, they're still angsty teenagers, right? That still need to wear shit that's gonna piss off their parents or whatever.
Yeah, you know what's funny is like it used to be the like one of the few stores I would go to buy like rock and roll t-shirts like AC/DC or Metallica or whatever.
Yeah.
And then now it's just like, oh, you know, do you enjoy anime? We've got that. Do you enjoy, My Little Pony? We've got that too. It's just
Do
like,
you
oh,
remember like anime is just so mainstream now? Like it's like very cool to like anime, but that shit was not cool growing up.
oh yeah, for sure. There was
You were the fucking weird guy who liked anime.
yeah,
I feel
so
like everyone was a weeboo back then. Like there's not a lot of now it's just so mainstream. Like
well, that's a good thing you bring that up, Christian. We're going to be talking a little bit about One Piece and the new Netflix show based off the anime. And yeah, it was a lot different back then. I remember, I forget what the name of the store was. I want to say it's like Suncoast Video. Does that sound like a
hell
store?
yeah, I remember that store. Fuck yeah.
So I remember going in there and they had like, a little section of anime
Yeah.
movies that you could buy. And that's where I bought Ghost in the Shell on VHS. And I was just like, this looks fucking sick. And it was. And it was just like one of the only places I remember being able to get that stuff until I started going, until the internet became more popular. And then eventually you were able to find it at like Tower Records and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, for a long time, it was very hard to get your hands on good quality anime.
Even manga. Like I remember like if you went
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Borders or like fucking any bookstore, it was always a tiny little section like
yeah.
near the graphic novels. But if you go now to Barnes and Nobles,
The whole
it's like
section
there's a whole fucking wall
with
of it.
like 3 to 4 weebs sitting on the ground just reading it for free, like a bunch of degenerates. It's like it's crazy how popular it's gotten. So, including being multiple shows being adapted into live action by Netflix, right? So we'll be talking about that a little bit later. Before we get into that anymore, though, let's talk about some nerdy confessions, Christians, where we confess the thing that makes us nerds. What's new with you?
So my nerdy confession is I started two new games, Baldur's Gate and Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat 1 is pretty I've never really been a huge fan of Mortal Kombat, but I've always liked the characters.
Sure.
And but this one, the story, there's a story mode it's like a fucking movie. Like there's more
Mhm.
talking than actual fighting, but the story is pretty good. And the graphics is fucking amazing, man.
Nice.
Like they're really, really like even like the whatever motion capture they did with the characters, like micro like expressions on people's faces. Yeah, and it's fucking it's crazy good. Um and like little shines on people's skin that you can tell
Mhm.
like it's kind of oily. And one thing that kind of drives me nuts on like some CG is like fabrics on clothing like doesn't look like they have texture. It's all very like shine or like
Yeah, it looks like a 2D texture image
yeah.
just put on a 3D object.
But even the texture like dude, you can tell that's leather. Like it's a
Yeah,
leather band on like Liu Kang's like head, or you can see like the fabrics on their hand wraps and stuff. Like it's
nice.
pretty dope. So like normally I'm skipping through like movies or like cutscenes in
Cutscenes.
the game. Like this one's like no, it's like watching a fucking movie. I was playing it with Sabrina. Like Sabrina was like watching it. She was entertained. Like I guess the closest thing would be kind of like oh, what was that Thief game that was on the PS. They did a movie with Tom Holland.
Oh, Uncharted.
Yeah, Uncharted was like one of those like where it kind of played out like a movie, but it was more actiony.
Yeah.
But I'm digging it, and you see your characters like progress, like there's a couple times where you fight before you get trained by Liu Kang, and I was like, oh wait, where's his super abilities? Like, where's this? Where's that? And it's like, oh, you start unlocking shit the more you
Nice.
play to go with the story. I was like, oh, this is kind of dope.
Yeah, I feel like that's one thing that Mortal Kombat's done on the past couple games is they've really leaned into like the story mode aspect of the fighting game, which like Street Fighter has not done
No.
a good job on. They tried on Street Fighter 6 on this newest one where like you create your own character and you use the moves of some, and I've heard
That
mixed
was pretty
reviews on
bad.
that.
Yeah, it was
It
pretty
looks
bad.
terrible. I don't
It
care how
does.
fun it is, but
The
um
gameplay, Street Fighter, will forever be my favorite mechanics,
yes.
because of the reactions. I don't know, maybe I'm very used to it. The reaction times, and like what you enter and what happens on the screen is pretty quick.
Mhm.
Mortal Kombat, that's one thing where it's still like like the window to do a move or to be hit is so huge. It's
Mhm.
so huge. But it's fine. I can let it go.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I've been hearing good things about this one. I heard it plays like an absolute potato on the Nintendo Switch, though.
I saw someone on Twitter. Fuck, I'm not calling that shit X. That shit's fucking Twitter. But someone had put a cutscene of Johnny Cage from the PS5 and his image on the Switch, and it's fucking horrendous.
Yeah,
Like so bad. Like so bad.
maybe we'll put it up on the screen, just like
I thought it was a joke until other people were like, "Yeah, it's pretty bad." I was like, "Oh shit,
how
no."
Switch is. You know, Nintendo needs to figure their shit out because one thing is, if they want to continue being competitive in the gaming world, like I get it, they're after a different demographic, but like like little kids like good graphics too. You know what I mean? So eventually they got to get there. But
But you can't put a game like Mortal Kombat, like on and claim to be like
yeah,
kid
exactly.
friendly.
Well,
Like,
they need to make money too, So it's like, let's just make a system that, you know, everyone can actually port their games onto. And it doesn't have to look the best, but it should be at least competitive.
yeah,
Like the Xbox Series S is a perfect example. It's like it's Xbox being like, look, this game is for poor people. You can enjoy video games even if you're poor. And but at least the games play on there and they play just as well as anything else. They just don't look as good, because that's what dollars buy.
and broke ass. Yeah, you can play too.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
And Baldur's Gate has been awesome. I won't talk about it too much just to continue on with the show, but I will say I banged a character by accident. I wasn't even trying to. It was the Gith Yankee. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, get Yankee, I think.
And
Lazel.
yeah, it was totally by accident. It wasn't. I was just doing things that I thought my character would do, and then I'm like, oh, she's DTF.
Yeah, she
Oh,
was.
I don't have a choice. I have to do this. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, okay. Like, all right.
yeah. Don't feel too good about yourself. She bangs like everybody.
And what I was gonna say before we were recording, because Cody told me during our magic game, I got turned down by the vampire. I wasn't even trying to. Like, I wasn't even trying to bang
Yeah,
the
he turned
vampire.
me down too.
He
He's
turned
he's
me down.
he's a tough nut to crack. Um, I know Lazel. I'm sure some of the other ones do too, but Lazel has a magic card. Because again, there's a
Okay.
Baldur's State magic set, so I know. I think her card is pretty good if I remember correctly too. But
I wasn't feeling, so I had made my character from our game. So I made a half orc rogue, and I just wasn't feeling it. I'd almost switched the class. And then I got to level 4, and I'm like, oh, I remember why I love rogues again. I
sneak
picked
attack on
assassin, and I was
everything.
like, oh yeah, sneak attack on everything, and then with assassinate, it's a auto crit.
Mhm,
I was like, oh,
mhm.
this is dope. I'm the fucking sniper. Like I can almost guarantee kill one enemy before the battle even starts. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
dope. But I will say, Baldur's Gate's amazing. It's dope. There's so many there's so many things I want to go and do. So many side quests. And there's like things that like I was like, oh, I failed this role. Like I wonder what would happen if I would have succeeded here. I could tell there's a shit ton of replay value on this game.
Oh,
Like,
100%. I think
yeah,
that that's one of those games where the longevity of the game is just people going back, starting a new character, and then just making new decisions and seeing
Yeah.
where it takes you, kind of thing.
There was there was even something in the beginning. Someone made a video. You're probably way farther than me, right?
I don't know. I haven't been playing it much, honestly.
Well, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna ruin anything for someone, but obviously it's fucking D&D. There's goblins.
Mhm.
I me and my party went in and we defeated the goblins. I didn't know that you can actually get branded and actually side with the goblins and actually go and like fuck up the druids.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane. Like it's
For a video game, they really do, like obviously it doesn't have quite as much freedom as an actual game of Dungeons and Dragons, but it's pretty damn close,
yeah.
Like they've really thought of like most things that people want to do, aside from maybe absolute chaos kind of thing. But yeah, it's pretty impressive.
No, chef's kiss, man. Like the people who made this, like
Yeah,
if you
Larian Studios.
yeah, like if you can't get a group of friends to play D&D, yeah, this is probably the closest thing to it. They did an
Absolutely.
amazing job. Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't have to feel weird when you like graphically describe having sex with characters, because you're just sitting there by yourself.
Or make the DM like you're trying to flirt with this one kid, and the DM's like,
Yeah,
oh,
and then what happens?
yeah.
Then what you do?
Wait. Describe the nipples.
Describe it. Yes, and then what happens? My nerdy confession is video game related as well. Instead of playing Baldur's Gate and Mortal Kombat, I've been heavy into Starfield, the new Bethesda game. And I think I've been on record saying I'm not a huge Bethesda fan. But this game has just really grabbed me because it's in space and you get to build ships and go to new planets, and it's everything that I wanted No Man's Sky to be. Um, and it's super fun. And my nerdy confession is the other night I was playing the game, and they have like different levels of spaceship you can get. You start off on A class, then you can upgrade to B class, then C class is the highest. And so I was so close to getting to the B class, which gives you like bigger reactors, better guns, more jump capabilities, more room for your crew to like hang out in. And so I was just like, fuck, I gotta do it. And so I stayed up till like, I don't know, 1:30 in the morning, just like farming resources and destroying other ships so I could build my B class ship, and I did it.
Can you spend actual dollars to just get what you need to build?
No, I don't.
That's cool.
Like I haven't found any microtransactions in that game at all. I will say I spent the extra money to play it early, and ooh, come to think of it, I think there is some sort of digital reward I was supposed to get, maybe, but I don't know. I mean, but it's not. I don't think there's a store in it or anything. So it's just you have to like if you want to build an outpost on a planet, you have to farm the materials. You have to get enough aluminum and enough iron and stuff to build what you have. But then you can build an outpost that like automatically, mines resources. And then eventually you can build stuff where not only does it mine resources, but it'll like send them off to be sold and stuff like that for you. So it's crazy. Like there's several different games within that one game. So
are they like droids that you have that go and mine the stuff?
yeah, well, it's like a like a mining equipment kind of thing. Though you can have like sentry robots and stuff like that too. And then it's an automated ship that lands, picks up your stuff, goes and sells it and stuff. Man, it's pretty cool.
I heard some people complaining that the game was too woke, and some people were like not going to pick it up for that.
Oh, you know what? I think I did hear about that, and it's just because you pick a pronoun in the character creation thing, and of course, people are losing their minds. It's just like, dude, who gives a shit? Like, whatever. Like, yeah. But yeah, I don't. There's nothing like
the pronouns are freedom and now.
Yeah, no, there's nothing like that in there, and it's not like you meet like an agender alien race and you have to learn how to accept them on a mission or anything. There's nothing like that in the
But
game.
also, wouldn't that make sense? Who knows what the fuck alien life would
Yeah,
be like? Yes.
yeah,
So,
exactly. Who knows? But yeah, no, there's nothing like that. It's just a space adventure. But there are, just like what you were saying in Baldur's Gate, there's a million little side quests. You'll like jump into a planet, and there's like, you'll see a ship in orbit, and if you go closer to it, it'll be like they'll hail you and stuff, and be like, oh, we've been on this colony ship for like 300 years, and all our communication is down. Can you help us out? You find out that they came from Earth and they've been stuck on the ship and it's been a generational ship or whatever.
yeah, what you got to do is just build a wall around the planet. Keep these fucking
Yeah, keep them out. They
keep
took
them
our
out.
jobs. But yeah, it's a fun game so far. So check it out, Starfield. I mean, it's like I think we've said on a few episodes, it's like a real good year for video games this year. So check it out, guys. It's a good time. Well, let's take a quick little break, and when we come back, let's talk a little bit about your new anime journey, and something I've been wanting to get into for quite a while, One Piece. We'll be right back. And we're back. So available now on Netflix. There is a live action version of One Piece. One Piece, for those of you who don't know, is a long running shonen anime, that, man, I think they're at something like 1,000 episodes or something like that. It's it's been going on for years and years and years. And it's there's 1,075 episodes. Dear God. And it's so they've made this new live action adaptation. It's been going on since 1997 also. Jesus Christ. Amazing. And it's about Monkey D. Luffy, who's this pirate guy who wants to be king of the pirates. And it's on a world filled with pirates where the world is mostly ocean and a bunch of little scattered islands and stuff. And that's kind of like the basis of the story. The One Piece is this hoard of pirate treasure that was hidden away by the former king of the pirates. And he kind of mentioned it before he was executed, that it's all hidden in this place and that people just have to find it and they'll get all of his treasure. And so it sets off this like gigantic treasure hunt amongst the pirates. Now the Netflix adaptations of animes, and in general live action adaptations of animes, haven't gone super well, right? That's fair to say, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So like Cowboy Bebop, it was one of the more recent ones, which it was fine. I think people were a little harder on it than it deserved, rightfully. And then there was Death Note, which I wasn't a fan of the anime that much to begin with, so I don't know. It was okay, I guess. And then before that, like Ghost in the Shell, the Scarlett Johansson movie, got like torn apart because you got Scarlett Johansson playing Major Kusanagi, and it's one of those things where there's been a rough time adapting anime into live action. But the thing is like you
I
can
feel
see,
like Speed Racer did okay.
I think Speed Racer was fantastic, which is crazy that we started off like there. Like that's the first. You know what? I think Dragon Ball Evolution might have been before Speed Racer, and that was real bad.
I've never seen it. I do want to,
Oh, I mean, it's.
because
Oof.
I do enjoy bad movies for what they are. So
Yeah, I mean, well, that's definitely one to check out. It's one of those ones where like to miss the mark so incredibly was I don't know how you do that. You know what I mean? No, Speed Racer was first. Yeah, so interesting. Then it was Dragon Ball Evolution the next year.
Really?
Yeah,
Crazy.
2008 was Speed Racer. 2009 was Dragon Ball Evolution. I remember seeing Dragon Ball Evolution in the movie theaters and just being like, "What the fuck?" But but I will say this, you can see the appeal for these movie studios and to try to adapt anime into a live action because you're obviously quite the nerd. You're into comic books and sci-fi and fantasy and all that stuff, but you're not a big anime guy, right?
Not huge, man, and I think it's because my mind is just too Western and like
Yeah,
to like the shift. I feel like with anime, there's like a lot of unspoken, unsaid things or things that are just understood by the audience that it's lost
yeah,
on me.
yeah.
So I'm just
There's
like,
definitely like cultural things in there and things that have been long running anime, staples for a long time, like the changing of the face and the eyes and stuff, like the big teardrop, sweat teardrop kind of forming on people's faces out of nowhere. Um,
yeah,
yeah,
and
so there's a
what's the
big
one
divide.
for erection? It's like someone has a bleeding nose or
Yeah, their
a blood or
nosebleeds like,
yeah.
"Ugh."
I
Yeah,
don't remember who told me that. I was like, "Oh, that's what that means?"
yeah, yeah.
Well, they should tell me
I
that.
wish that actually. Well, maybe I don't, but I wish that would be funny if it actually did happen like that. You're just like, ugh.
You
But
can't hide it.
yeah, I'm just like, oh, sorry. But there's a lot of people out there, I think, like you, who would be open to the worlds that these animes present, things like Attack on Titan, um Cowboy Bebop, Dragon Ball Z, all these fantastical worlds that you would be open to, but like the medium kind of gets in the way. So there's a lot of money to be had there if they do it well, right? So it makes sense that they keep trying, and I think that this show One Piece actually did a pretty good job. And I'm not even that big of a fan of the anime, though I will say after watching this show, it made me want to like try to get into it again. Because One Piece is always one of those ones where it's just like there's so many episodes, it goes on for so long, and I don't give a shit about pirates, It's just one of those things that I've never really cared about. And so it was always a hard sell to like, oh, you want to watch an anime that has, 1,000 episodes and it's about the subject that you don't really care about, it's always very difficult. But I will say, since I've started watching since I watched the Netflix show, I restarted One Piece, and I'm like, I don't know, 20 episodes into the anime, and it's fine. You know, I think it's one of those ones that maybe if you just stick with it long enough, maybe it gets good, but who knows?
20 episodes though is a fucking that's a big try.
Yeah, I'm definitely making an effort. I'm going to try to get through. I want to get past what happens in the show, the Netflix show, I should say, because I think I think the Netflix show encapsulates like the first main story arc, which is about 60 episodes long, I think, in the anime. So I want to get past that and kind of see what happens next, and then I'll decide if I'm going to keep going. So it's rough. It's rough.
Yeah,
Though,
well, I remember when they announced it and like I saw like a trailer for it, and I was like, first off, when I heard it was happening, I was like, that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. And
yeah,
then I saw the trailer, I was like, this is gonna be terrible. And I had no plans on watching it whatsoever, steam clear. But one of my friends, my buddy Marco that I've known since like 8 years old, and he knows I don't like anime. And he was just like, dude, you gotta give it a try. I'm like, yeah, fuck off. I'm not watching.
yeah,
He's like, no, 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 like for real, you gotta just give it a chance. And I did, and I was like, oh, I don't hate this. And then I was like, oh, I'm actually kind of enjoying this. And I haven't finished it yet, but it's just one of those shows that I feel it had everything going against it, but somehow
right.
still succeeded.
Yeah, because one thing, for anyone who hasn't seen like the anime or the artwork, it's a like a goofier, more like zany world than most other animes. Like, you got Dragon Ball Z, which is what most people are familiar with, or Pokemon for that matter, I should say. And they're, they're fairly like grounded, like motion and gravity all kind of happens the way you think it would happen in real life, right? Um Obviously Dragon Ball Z people fly and stuff like that, but it's believable. But Luffy, one of his like main abilities is he stretches like Mr. Fantastic kind of. And so, we've seen that done in multi-million dollar movies and it looks bad, in like Fantastic Four movies and things like that. But somehow the way they shot it and the way it was portrayed and like in the Netflix show, it just worked. And like you have to kind of like turn off that over analytical part of your brain and be like, you just got to go with it. And it's just fun and goofy. Like, have you met the clown guy yet? Bucky
Yeah.
the Clown. Yeah, I mean that on paper, that I would be like, we're making this. We're gonna do this in live action. This is gonna look awful. But if you kind of turn your brain off a little bit, it's fun and the story is good. And what's cool about it is, like I said, there's like 60 episodes of anime that are condensed down into like what 10 episodes of
I
the
think so. I don't
Netflix
know.
show.
I don't know how many episodes it has.
And that's like the perfect concentrated version of the story. Because one thing I will say about most anime that is like Shonen Jump style anime, which means like it's like I think it's like a weekly magazine that would come out and the new manga chapters would be in it, and basically like the actual cartoons, the anime would have to like they would run out of manga to adapt into cartoons, and so they'd have to wait for new chapters to come out. So then they'd make up what we call filler episodes, where they're exclusive to just the show, and they would like it would include the characters like doing random side quests that no one gives a shit about. And they would do that for like sometimes months while the manga chapters caught up and the animators animated it and stuff. So I think having a condensed version of these longer stories really helps keep the flow going really well.
Yeah.
But
One
so
of the things
you're
I
liking it
love.
so far, huh?
Yeah, yeah. One of the things I love about the show is Luffy, the main character, has no idea what a fucking pirate is. Like at all.
Right.
He's like, oh
Well,
yeah.
he has his idea of what a pirate is. It's not the universally accepted definition of a pirate.
It's like, oh, we go out adventuring and we help people. We're like, yeah, that's not what a pirate does. It's
No,
like
yeah.
not at all what a pirate does.
Yeah, he's not into like stealing things from people really. He just kind of
Yeah,
does whatever he wants. And he does have like an innocence about him too, which is really
yeah.
fun. And
I
then
also
like
love that he has an accent as an adult, but he
yeah,
doesn't have one as a kid.
yeah. Uh,
Where's his accent? Like what happened to it?
Kid actors are bad actors. um yeah, but I like the cast of characters. The guy who plays Zorro is awesome.
Is
Um,
that's the three sword guy?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I looked him up. He's Sonny Chiba's son, which is
Oh, okay.
yeah. I was like, that's insane. Sonny Chiba's the
Legend in the kung fu.
legendary, yeah, Japanese actor, yeah, and it's crazy. I thought there was something. I was like, this dude looks familiar. Have I seen him in something?
I
I
think
was like, oh, he just looks like Sonny Chiba.
I think he was also. I'm not sure. I mean, this could be really racist if I get this wrong, but I think he played Rurouni Kenshin. I think in
Yeah, he did.
the. Oh, nice. Fuck
Good save.
Woo! I think he played Rurouni Kenshin in the live action version of that, which was also very good. I watched the first one though; there've been a couple, but that one's like it's actually subtitled and dubbed in Japanese and everything.
No, he's great. All the actors are great. Like in their facial, like their gestures, their movement, the
Hmm.
costumes, like
Hmm.
everything they do just looks like a cartoon or like an anime character.
Yeah,
And I don't know if it's the makers of the show that are telling them what they need to do, whoever, or the actors themselves, but you can tell there's these people really care and love and have like a genuine like passion for anime, and
100%.
it shows in the show. But yeah, again, I don't know if it's the show creators or the actors themselves, but like everything, I was like, dude, I could totally imagine that like in the cartoon, like
Yeah,
the movements and everything.
And it's funny, going back and watching the anime, which I had previously attempted to watch it years ago, and going back and watching it now is like I can, you can see what the live action actor did versus the cartoon and how they really adapted it. And I mean, I think they did a great job. It's definitely worth checking out if you guys are, hesitant. You're like, what is this weird thing? It's good story. It's fun. It's it's family friendly. There's no real violence.
Well, there's murdering.
Well, there is murdering.
People do get murdered, but
Yeah.
for America, it's fine. There's no nudity so far, at least.
Yeah, exactly. So America doesn't care. Also, like the murdering is pretty like PG. Like, yes, they die, but it's not like super bloody, gory kind of thing. Even with people getting sliced up by swords and stuff.
Yeah. I was like, people get sliced in half. But I guess, yeah, it's tasteful,
Tasteful murder. Well, cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Maybe this will kind of whet your appetite. Maybe you'll start getting into some other animes.
Yeah, I mean, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, I do love, but those are like fucking classics, so.
We got to get you to watch Naruto. That's like, I know it's a lot, but it's so good.
I will give it a try.
Yeah, you need to watch one of they make these lists online. I'm sure they do it for One Piece too, where they'll give you all the episodes to actually watch and all the ones to skip, because there's all these like filler episodes that are bullshit and you don't need to watch. And so like it actually cuts down the episode count quite a bit. So very cool.
I'm down.
All right, guys. Well, let us know down in the comments what you think. Are you going to watch One Piece? And if you have, what did you think of it? Does it live up to the hype? We think it does. We think it does a pretty good job. Make sure while you're down there in the comments, you like and subscribe. Click all the buttons that it asks you to click. And then check out our Patreon at patreon.com/nerdswithfriends. It really helps support the show. Cristian, thanks for being the Zoro to my Luffy D Monkey.
Oh, nice.
I'm
the cool guy.
Zoro is the cooler character, Luffy sucks, but it's fine.
He's very likable.
He sure is. Yeah, you're more of a Luffy, if you know what I mean. Complexion.
Oh, got it.
But to all the nerds out there, remember, you're not alone. You're with friends. This is Nerds with Friends. Thank you. Good night.